I don't wanna.
Okay, let's cry. Reggie. I want to see that picture first.
This really is an out-of-the-way part of London. I doubt many people find their way down this back street. So this dust-ridden, rented old room... Say that fucking 5 times fast. Dust-ridden, rented old room. It's where it happened then. So this is where poor Inspector Gregson lost his life? Yes, and the police are already hard at work investigating, it seems. Oh, you could say that? Oh, I mean... I don't see Mr. Sholmes anywhere, though. Perhaps his investigations have taken him elsewhere. Boy, what do you think you're doing here? There. Every one of them drawers has got to be taken right out so you can look underneath and all. I want the space above his ceiling checked, and don't forget to look inside the chimney stack too. Blimey, ain't you lot never gone over a house looking for dough when the owners are out of town? I mean, no. Gina's obviously got some unique investigative techniques she wants everyone to adopt. Oh, that! So you turned up at last. Mind you, I ain't been here long myself. Hello again, Gina. Sholmes has only just left. You lucky you missed that. I went prancing around here, pointing at stuff and flicking that out of his and just scarped. Oh, he's finished investigating already, you mean? Yeah, it didn't stop to say nothing to no one, not even me. Gina, would you mind if we investigated too? Jesus, you scare me. Listen, Odo. You're a lawyer, right? Yeah. Why? Well, you're not thinking of trying to help that Reaper bloke, are you? Oh, poor Gina. She's never going to forget, is she? That trial will haunt her forever. Gina, if you don't mind me saying, if Lord Van Zieks really is responsible for this crime, he will be duly and fairly judged in court. I suppose you're right, yeah. Go on then, Odo. Get investigating. I want to know the truth about what really happened here. Thank you, Gina. Nah, don't mention it. Tickles my fuzzies.
Just don't get it wrong.
Just don't get results wrong. Gina, what was Inspector Gregson doing here in the first place? That's what I want to know. Is what? Half a year since I got out of the clink. That's when I decided to give up me diving and become a detective instead. I guess Mr. Sholmes twisted the inspector's arm to agree to take you on as an apprentice, didn't he? Something like that, I think. Anyway, the point is, I didn't really know much about the boss till then. But it turns out, he's a bit of a legend at the yard. Goodness, really? I say he managed to solve some really tricky case, just like that. He did? Yeah, and ever since then he's started going out on all sorts of investigations, but always on his own. No one else at the yard even knows what half the cases he's worked on are, apparently. That's not how it's supposed to work, is it? So what was the legendary inspector doing in a dingy little room like this? Now he had a lot of respect for the Reaper and all, and look where that landed him. Respect for the Reaper? In what way? I heard him say as much. I'd take my eye off that fella. Or his words. Not how the general public feels, is it? Most people are terrified of the Reaper. Yeah, the boss said that's exactly why he respected the bloke. I didn't realize Gregson held the Reaper in quite such high regard. They said something else to me and all. That didn't need a word about the Reaper, because he only goes after people what are bad. He did kind of set my mind at ease when he said that. Right. Can you go get me a drink? Please.
What do you want?
The orange mango body armor. I just need something watery for my throat. I see that's where the poor inspector was found over there. That's what I said. It was a single bullet what did him in. Apparently the bullet went right through them and struck that candle tree in the wall. Candle tree? Oh yes, it's blown up one of the candles apart completely. I don't know if I would say that that's blown apart, but sure. And the gun used to stay on the floor. It's the Reapers in it, no denying that. I don't think Van Seeks uses a gun. He has a gun. He owns a gun.
See, it's even inscribed his name right here.
That's crazy. It's even spelled wrong. How do you know that? Talk easy. I don't know what to do with myself when you stab me with them big white eyes. I'm not saying what I've heard. I don't know about much about guns myself. There's some big-wig lawman or whatever who said so. Why don't you ask him? Big-wig lawman, is it? Anyway, Fresno Street runs along under that window there. There were some street sellers just outside who heard the gunshot. Oh, but I don't recall seeing anybody outside. Yeah, they've all been taken down to the yard for questioning, that's why. We're talking about the yard's legendary inspector here, after all. They'll be getting a grilling. Do you think we might be able to speak with those street sellers ourselves? I doubt it. Lads at the yard will just want to know what you snoop around for, and you'll be up for grilling and all. So we can't interview the witnesses then. Shame. What is this place then? Does anyone live here? Apparently it's been rented by some cove called Hugh Bone. Huge Bone? It's a sort of here today, gone tomorrow name, that, isn't it? Hugh Boone? Hugh Boone. I got nothing. He's what we call an unidentified person. We haven't been able to get in touch with him. I see. Well, judging from appearances, I'd have to say this place hasn't been lived in for a long time, if ever. Right? All the lads from the yard piled down to get stuck here into the investigation. They're so little here, no one knew what to do with themselves. I do wonder. Yes, Mr. Soto? Well, could it be that this Hugh Boone, is in fact Inspector Gregson himself? What? How could that be? Well, if he was investigating on his own, it's quite possible that this was in fact some kind of secret office of his. I never even considered that. Nice work, Sieves. We all were actually following along quickly like that ourselves. You are?
Yeah, it's about 5 seconds ago.
If you look around the room, you see there's a few things that hinted at. We should really investigate this place in detail. Alright. I'll look at things. Poke at things. Picture. It's a very unique photograph stand is just what they're on, so I'll do the same. Frame, yeah. I suppose it must be a picture of one of Inspector Gregson's family members. Ah! What's the matter? Your eyes look like they're about to pop out of your head. They are! Look, Mr. Naharu, quickly! Just her fucking eyeballs just fall out. Oh! Ah! Why do I feel like this woman is familiar? Just shut up! Of course she's familiar! We met her only this morning! Ah! This is Vigil. This makes no sense. Why would there be a picture of Mrs. Vigil in here? To be frank, I don't think I've ever been more stumped. I'm sorry to say, I have no idea either. This looks like some sort of notice board or something. And it's absolutely covered in scraps of paper. Ah, Mr. Naruto, look! This, you mean, it's an autopsy report, isn't it? These are case notes here, and details of prison inmates. Yes, in fact, they're all the sort of documents that only a detective could normally acquire. What on earth went on in this room? Some old newspaper cuttings. Ah, and this one here! Ah, yes, the advertisement, you mean. To the Red-Headed League. But why? What's that doing here? Whoever occupied this room was clearly interested in it for some reason. I guess we'll have to figure more about that later. An empty fireplace makes a room feel even colder than it would be otherwise, doesn't it? It's thick with dust, look. I think it would be fair to say it hasn't been used in a very long time. In other words, whoever lived in this room must have been extremely hardy in cold weather. Or nobody lived here at all and merely visited when the occasion arose. I wouldn't like to say which is more likely. No, that's right. It's one or the other. Okay. Oh dear. Let's start with that. Somebody's very haphazardly nailed those boards over the broken glass, haven't they? You couldn't even really call it a window anymore. Well, if you remember the window in Mr. Natsume's room, that was totally blocked up with bricks. This one does at least let in sunlight, so you could say... You could say nothing more about it. I'm starting to feel even more sorry for Mr. Natsume now. Alright. The top of one of the candles in this candle holder has been completely blown off. Yes, there's wax splattered on the wall behind, look. I suppose if a bullet had hit it. It does seem likely that the bullet hit the candle, having first passed through the inspector's body. Ugh. Now that wax on the wall looks like blood to me. What is this toy? That's been bothering me since I first saw it. It would appear to be a little model policeman. It's rather charming, isn't it? In a way? Seeing as it's on the floor here, do you think it belonged to Inspector Gregson? It's a little hard to imagine Lord Van Zieks playing with something like this. It's only about 8 centimeters tall. It could have fallen out of someone's pocket, I suppose. I think we should record it as evidence, just in case. Yes, I agree. It is rather delightful, after all, in a way. Policeman figurine has been entered. Hey, what on this gun? This is presumably the murder weapon, then. Oh my! You really just picked it up off the floor and you're just waving around. Holy shit, I can't believe you're doing that.
Pointed at everyone.
I think so. Guns are so rare in Japan, I really know very little about them. There's one way to know for sure, Mr. Naruto. Fire a shot! No. If I did that, I'd be looking for a skilled lawyer to represent me in court. Slightly safer just to ask for someone who might know, I think. A killer's revolver. Alright. Source man! This is where the victim... That's right, the rope is laid around...
Is that a wig?
No, it's the victim's hair. Around the body to show exactly how it was found. Poor Inspector Gregson himself has already been taken away. He'll probably be under Dr. Scythe's scalpel by now, if not for what happened last week. From the shape of the rope, it would appear that the inspector was curled up in a ball. Are you feeling alright, Mr. Naruto? You look like you've just seen a ghost. I know it's just a rope, but, well, it conjures up quite a terrifying image, that's all. Especially with that bloodstain next to it. Oh, I do understand. In some ways, what we picture in our minds can be even worse than reality. Susato-san is so strong, though. She's taken this far better than I am. Ever since we came in here, I can't take my eyes off of this thing. Oh! Funnily enough, neither can I. It's a hairpiece, isn't it? It is! It is! It's a bright red hairpiece! I suppose the fact that it's right there next to where the body was found, means we have to accept that Inspector Gregson wore wigs, does it? And it's such flame-colored red, too. Yes, that's a color we've come across very recently elsewhere, isn't it? Exactly! This is a vital clue, I'm sure of it! Alright, now to look at all that stuff. Holy shit. Ah, there are some black marks here, look. Yes, they look like some sort of scorch marks. So perhaps the bullet struck the candle here, do you think? It's only this one candle that's been cracked in half, it seems. Yes, I think you might be right. Firearms are rarely used by criminals in Japan, so I'm afraid I'm not particularly knowledgeable about them. The helmet of this... Oh, don't hold it at this angle. The helmet of this charming policeman appears to be a little worse for wear. I'm not convinced about that charming part, but yes, you're right. The head part looks like it's been fairly heavily manhandled. Gross. Almost as if someone has enjoyed twisting it around and around for fun. Oh, man. What are you thinking of, Mr. Naruto? Shall we try twisting it around and around too? For fun? No! Oh my god! It's a knife! It appears to be some sort of key.
Do it. Do it. Do it. Come on. It's a key.
It's a key.
What does it open?
What does it open? It couldn't be a key for a door. Not at that size. What if it opened a tiny knife that held a safe?
And inside that
safe was another key in the shape of a knife! A key-like shaft. This looks like some sort of key. Yes, it does. A very tiny and simple key. What's a little key doing inside a figurine of a policeman in the first place? What's it for?
And why does it pop out like that?
Alright, let's see. I suppose this must have been the murder. Stop holding it like that, Susato. Oh, sorry. It is real, I suppose. I think so. Guns are so rare in Japan, I really... Oh, this is literally just the same as what we had before. Dang it, I was really hoping for like a tag or something. I've always wondered what the underside of a hairpiece looks like. That doesn't surprise me at all, Mr. Naruto. You always want to see what lies beneath, don't you? What? You must have to... What? You must have to use lots of bird lime to keep it in place on your head? So it doesn't get blown off in a gust of wind, I mean.
That's a type of, it's skin, it's kind of like a glue, but it's safe for your skin.
Interesting. It might be a little inconvenient when you wanted to take it off again, don't you think? So do... I don't know. I guess we'll talk to one of these schmucks. Excuse me.
Sorry, sir. Can't see a thing, sir. Too many tears, sir.
Right. Perhaps I'd better leave you to your work then. Too many tears, sir. Excuse me.
If you're looking down on us from the great beyond, Inspector, don't worry. We'll look after things at the yard.
I've had some deep thoughts there. Oh, this guy's instructing the cork board. Surely he's got his mind on the job at hand, right?
Oh, Inspector. Oh, sir.
Well, he's having different thoughts. Can't possibly be able to focus on investigating when he's so upset. Sure, let's go with that.
And you looked at the lamp, right? Or is... that's part of the picture.
Part of the picture. I think I've touched everything in here. So now I need to find a person to point this gun at. What do you know about guns, Gina? How about this? Caden might. I mean, he's got a lot of weapons on display. He's probably gonna know stuff about fucking guns.
Yeah, no.
Except he's not here, so never mind. That was a good idea until it wasn't.
Should we go see her dad? See if he knows.
Oh, hold on. Let me look at her Susato's dialogue, because that usually gives you a hint. Oh, we're supposed to go back to Lord Chief Justice office? I mean, I guess he would know about guns, but maybe that's not why we're here. Maybe we have to do something else here first and then find somebody else that knows about guns. I don't know.
Could also be talking about a key, too. Saying, like, hey, we found this key.
I don't know.